we have Catherine Maley.
And I sure hope my slides are coming up. There they are. All right, I am going to talk about how to market to your preferred patients so they choose you. This is how you get to a yes a lot faster. And the secret keywords here are preferred patients. Okay, that's a hint. So you want to look at the criteria of your preferred patient. For example, which of your patients has more financial wherewithal than somebody else? Or has friends just like them? Because if you help one, you can help everybody else they know. Who has a good profit margin? Which procedure has a really good profit margin? Which kind of patient is easy to market to because they're easy to find? Greater results. You know, which procedure do you use and which patient just loves their results and they appreciate you? So if you use criteria like this, you'll hone in on somebody. What happens is right now you just want everybody and you want to do everything to them. And that's not how the marketing world works in today's world. You want to focus. So for example, in this talk, I'm just going to pick mommy makeovers. Is that a good one? A lot of people like the mommy makeovers. Would you like to do mommy makeovers all day? Maybe. So if you did, the next question is, where are those women? Where are they? Well, one place they are is talking to the other mommies. That's why I like them. That group has a tendency to herd. They hang together. They have kids. They all go to soccer together. They all do all that stuff together. They talk about mommy stuff all day. That's a good group, and they know each other, so I like them. And what are they doing? They're searching and searching and searching. You do know a mommy makeover patient has been looking in the mirror for years and hating what she's looking at. In my book, when I asked them, how long had you been thinking about this? It was for years, but then when they were ready, they were ready. And that's when she's online and she's cooking. She's simmering, thinking about it, searching around. So here's how you want to be where she is. And I'll just give you a whole bunch of ideas. You can be a special guest on mommy blogs. Some of these mommy bloggers have like 500,000 people watching them all day, and they're all mommies. It's easy to find. You just Google the top 50 mommy bloggers, and they just jump up. So what you do is you want to be their special guest, and you're offering your time and your expertise. They're always looking for content. These people have to blog every day, all day, so they're looking for content. And why don't you throw your hat in and say, I'd be happy to talk to your group. You can also write consumer articles. A lot of you write clinical articles, which are terrific, but they're so darn clinical, nobody else understands them. Do another article that talks to the layperson. And just normal things like, what is a mommy makeover? So when you write the article, and they only need to be 300 to 500 words, you don't just write it, you write it and spread it out to the world. For example, there are many article websites that will pick up your article, tag it, and then they'll find your way to your website from that article. So there's easy ones. There are a bunch of them, but eZine articles is really popular. Search Warp and Articles Base, there are many of them. You can also blog yourself. Now here's the thing about blogging. It's got to be interesting to the patient. So you know what I would do? I would just answer typical questions that a patient's going to ask you anyway about mommy makeovers. So just write as a patient. Think about a patient and what their concerns are, what their objections are, and what their results and how they want to feel. That's how you write. That's how you blog. You can also write a book. And by the way, in today's world, it doesn't have to be a big book. It can be a little book. It doesn't matter. It's all about search engine optimization and finding you because everyone's clicking all over the place. I like the book because, frankly, my book has been worth a fortune to me in my career because it's on Google Books, it's on Amazon, it's everywhere. I use it for everything, and it's digital and it's hard copy. I think a book really sets you apart, makes you an authority on a topic, but you don't just write a book. You write a book on mommy makeovers. It's real focused and real targeted. You also want to do Facebook ads because we're our mommies. A lot of them are on Facebook ads. They like Facebook. You have to get good at Facebook ads. You know, the bad part about Facebook with our industry, you can't upset anybody. You can't let anyone feel bad about themselves and their appearance. So they knock down your ads constantly. That's why nowadays all you can use is like a lady with a child and hope somebody gets it. You know, as a matter of fact, I just told everyone in my master's class last night, we were doing a pumpkin ad. It was like a shriveled up pumpkin and a Botox pumpkin. And they turned it down. Isn't that crazy? I mean, it's a pumpkin, for God's sakes. Okay. And then, once you've got this content on Facebook, you want to boost that and spread it out to the world. And this isn't a social media class, but there's so many simple things you can do on Facebook. You just boost the ad for $5 or $10, and it'll go to a whole bunch more people just like your list. And that leads me to the lookalike campaign. You do know, or maybe you don't, you just take your email list that you already have, your patient list, you run it through Facebook, and you do a lookalike campaign. So they will look at your list and they'll send your ad to other people that look like your list. It's easy. And then you want to retarget. Have you all been sold on something? You know, you look at something on Amazon and it follows you all over the internet for 2 weeks. That's really popular. I would do that too. It's really cheap to do. A lot of this is cheap to do nowadays in social media, but you just have to do a ton of it. And you're just clicking all over the place, but you're trying to be seen. Now, you also want to, on your website, of course, you want to promote your book, The Mommy Makeover, and you want to brag about you and the Mommy Makeover. For example, you wrote the book on it. That makes you the authority because you wrote the book. You've done a number of mommy makeovers. A lot of you have never counted up all of your surgical procedures. It's pretty impressive. No mommy wants to be your first. They want to be your 250th, you know, or something like that. So count those up, and if it's a good number, go for it. You do the most in your area. If that's true, use that to your advantage. You train other surgeons to do it. You're highlighted on Real Self, or frankly, that's a little marketing. On Real Self, is Real Self international, by the way? Crickets. Yeah, they are? All right, so I would highly recommend using Real Self and buying. At that point, I would pay to play. I would buy a spotlight, and then you can say, like that, you can use that logo, Real Self Top Doctor. And that is marketing, but that's good, because patients are like, whoa, top doctor. You can't call yourself the best, but you can call yourself the top. And then it's the most popular procedure you perform. Women, people, love popular. The word popular really resonates with us. So if it's the most popular, and by the way, as a consultation, if you say to a female patient, you are the perfect candidate for this procedure, golden. They want to know straight from you with confidence, they're the perfect procedure for me, I'll get a great result, and there's the confidence they're looking for. I personally would have an online learning center, and here's what I mean by that. During our panel, have you noticed how everybody was doing all of the educating at the consult? That's why you're getting the, I got to think about it, because you didn't educate beforehand. What happens is on the internet, it's such the wild, wild west. They don't think it costs anything. They don't think there's any downtime. The internet is so full of misinformation. They need to hear it from you what this mommy makeover is, because it's confusing. Sometimes it's lipo, sometimes it's abdominoplasty, sometimes it's a breast aug, breast lift. There are a lot of things involved. I would have an online learning center with you describing it in your own words. Patients want to hear it from you. How do you define a mommy makeover, and how do you address their concerns? For example, a big concern of a mommy makeover is the scar, right? That's a tough one. So you have to warn them for that, because a lot of them don't realize there's going to be a scar. However, you can hide it, blah, blah, blah. You want to have a video of that and show photos of it, that it's not that big of a deal, if it's not a big deal. You also want to show lots of results. I realize internationally a lot of you are not allowed to use photos. Here's what I would say. If you can't do it, you've got to get your patients to help you with that. So I personally would start talking to patients, bonding with your patients who love you, who would love to help you, and get them to use their own social media and show the photos for themselves. Also, actual social proof. On your website, if you're a mommy makeover specialist, use real mommies on your website. Don't use those 20-year-olds. Like, I love the Anne's mommy makeover story. People love a story. Don't we love a story? If I tell you a story, you would remember it. Like my credit card story, you would probably remember that. Work with stories instead of that clinical stuff. I tell you, we have to get more emotional in this industry because that's what this is based on. All right, so I always say actual patient in your website photos. If you can get mommy makeover video reviews, get them. I don't know if you're allowed to use them in your country, but if you can, please use them. If you can't, go ahead and videotape the patient and let them spread it out for you on all the social media sites they're on. And hopefully you have a coordinator who had a mommy makeover. That would be brilliant because it's so consistent. Nothing is better than a coordinator saying, I've had it done. I can show you my scar. That's pretty good. I don't think it gets any better than that. And then you could have a mommy makeover package. What I like about packages is if people are going to price shop you, and they're going to get into that negotiating, and I'm sorry we didn't get to talk about that, but patients are negotiating, aren't they? It's like sport, you know? What I like about a mommy makeover package, you put it in a package, you include everything, and now they can't pull it apart. So now they can't say, well, Dr. So-and-so, it was $2,000 less for that. Well, you won't say that because it's all packaged together. Does that make sense? And then you can have a mommy makeover event. And the thing about events, women especially leave the kids with the husband, come on out, have some wine and shop. It just works for women. I used to do a lot of patient events when I was new in this industry, and the best theme I ever used was Ladies' Night Out. They just love that. So the mommy makeover event is good because it's a pretty big procedure. Women love the FaceTime with you as the surgeon. They'd love to find out, do I fit with you? Do I have a good energy with you? I highly recommend it. If you're not going to do a mommy makeover event, you might think about doing a patient webinar. It's a little advanced and you need some technology for it, but some of your patients won't show up in person for this, but they will show up online. So think about it. Maybe have an online webinar about it. Because here's the thing, if you do all of this, you are now the authority on mommy makeovers, and that's what not only differentiates you, but it makes that price a whole lot easier. You're not negotiating because you've done all you need to do to say, I got this. When you think mommy makeover, you think of you, the surgeon. That's it. That's my website. Thanks.
We're going to take a half-hour coffee break, so please join us back here at 3:30.
Don't you